Hello, it's Erica, and this is your Aries reading. This is good for the month of April. For the month of May. Didn't realize it's already the 17th. Holy shit. Alright, so let's get to it. This is good for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in Aries. It could also Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter. If you're feminine. And looking for your masculine, or reading for your masculine, like cross watching. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a couple of general cards, trying a couple of different spreads this time. I'm doing it this way instead of looking at the cards because I don't feel like trying to spruce things up, okay? Trying to keep things different. All right, so let's see. Let's do recent past first. What's been in the recent past for my Aries people? Recent past. Huh. We have the Three of Cups reverse with the Devil reverse. So you could have got yourself out of a third party situation. Could have been with a water sign Capricorn. You might have that in your chart. I don't know if you even was aware of this other person though. I feel like it could have been a friend of somebody. They were kind of in the background or like supposed to be a harmless person that they knew, but they weren't a harmless person that they knew. Let me look into it more. Could have been a third party, but it also could have been that you were involved with somebody that had immature and they had toxic codependent, what do you call it, traits. And it just made you really unhappy. And you could have actually started some kind of habit to cope with that person. You could have been drinking more, could have been smoking more, you could have been watching porn more, gaming more, whatever. Even working more. But there was some kind of habit also that you might have developed in order to deal with this person. Whether or not if you knew you were in a third party situation now, don't automatically think this is your story. You know, if it feels right, it feels right. You know, intuition. But if your intuition never said that, disregard. Then that part is not your story, okay? But you were unhappy with somebody and you knew that you needed to leave them. You needed to get away. And so I feel like you actually started recently on a path of like trying to introspect more and heal more and learn more about yourself. And I feel like a part of that, knowing more about yourself, you've been doing a lot of shadow work, like trying to figure out what are your vices, what are your triggers, what are those things that are problems and reoccurring in your relationship, and you're trying to figure out how do I work on those things so they're not really a problem anymore. So I have energetic attacks and say what's on your mind. So in the past, you know, that could have been a really big problem that you didn't know how to say what's on your mind without coming across really like bitchy or like a dick basically. And so you held back a lot of what you felt towards this person, which could have been that buildup of like you were just getting increasingly unhappy. But instead of being able to say what's on your mind and tell the person and y'all could work it out, you know, like anytime you tried to say something, they would blow up or they would take it the wrong way or they would play victim and put that shit back on you. It's like you would tell them, hey, I don't appreciate you always on your phone talking to people. You know, like that's kind of weird that you're always talking to somebody, but you won't talk to me that much. And they would all of a sudden start crying and be like, well, you don't give me enough attention and blah, blah. You're like, what the fuck? I thought, okay, this was about you, but whatever. And you could have like been sleeping more too, or had random bouts of anxiety, and you wouldn't know where it came from. Or you would feel like in the pit of your stomach, like almost like you were sick to your stomach at times, and you had no clue why. But you were low-key energetically picking up on this person's like energy, and it was fucking toxic. It was like, I see like sludge, like there was so much attached to this person. There was no freaking way you would have been able to stay with this person honestly without freaking losing your mind. So good thing you left, or it ended. Whoever left who, I think you walked away, but whatever fits your story. So let's see in the present. What's going on in the present with love? What's going on in the present with love for my Aries for May? Oh, who did you meet? Who did you meet? Okay. Kind of. So we have the Six of Cups with the Empress reverse with the Knight of Wands. All right. So I feel like you could have recently, or you're about to, meet somebody that you feel is a real soulmate energy. And I feel like this person is not, it's more they bring more masculine energy, but they haven't tapped into their feminine energy yet. That's what I'm getting with the Empress reverse, because I feel like if it was like a bad soulmate connection, if this person was like in a shadow side of an Empress, that it would have been the Six of Cups would have been reversed. But for me, since that's upright and also the Knight of Wands is upright, I feel like it's something that's almost like I'm hearing delay. That it's not, this person has to work into their Empress energy. Also, there are parts of you, so you are an air sign, you might have air in your chart, but you are a fire sign, right? You are meant to be a leader. You are meant to be, have a high regard of yourself. As a king, as an emperor, as anybody that does ruling, one of the most important traits is to be self-assured, self-confident, self-assured, right? Insecurities can make for a very bad leader because then you're going to project those insecurities on people, right? So I'm feeling like you are in a time in your life right now. Again, like I said earlier, you're working on yourself. You're working through your shadow side. You're trying to figure out what are those triggers that really bother me or that seem to really interfere in a relationship, and what are those things about me that I really want to work on so I can have better relationships, so I can meet somebody and not self-sabotage it, right? So I feel like there's somebody coming along that you're going to feel like you've known forever. Y'all are going to just instantly hit it off, and they might have water in their chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Forgot what, I need to look into the astrology of all this stuff more. I am learning, so bear with me. But I feel like it's going to be somebody also that brings out the inner child in you. And as I said that, I heard childhood wounds. So in conjunction with somebody bringing out the child in you, which is actually good, that lighthearted, playful energy, but it's also going to bring up those triggers of childhood wounds that, you might be suppressing or that you might even know about. But there's going to be things that are going to happen. I feel like being ignored is going to be one of them, I'm hearing. That if you feel like you're being ignored by this person, like it's really going to bother you and it's going to trigger you more than it would other people you've dated. But that's because it's a soulmate type connection, or you can call it karmic, but y'all are supposed to learn from each other. But it's going to be very healing if you guys can work through it, if you can work through it. But I feel like on the other side, like it's really going to bring out your masculinity more. And it doesn't matter if you're a male or female, we all have yin and yang. And I feel like it's going to help heal your masculine side more and bring out your masculine side more so that you can deal with your feminine side or your yin side more as well. As this is a time I feel like, which is funny, it's going to flip flop. So the other person is trying to work on their feminine energy, and you're going to be working on your masculine energy because you are better at your feminine energy and they're better at their masculine energy. Interesting. So y'all are both going to be able to help each other through that. And I feel like, so the person actually might be, as I said, water. They could have water, fire, and earth prominent in their chart. Specifically, Taurus or a Libra. But I can feel like this person is very like they're very used to people coming to them, but it might not be in a coming from a like a healthy space. That makes sense. So the Empress, she is the Empress. She has people that serve her, but it's because she serves them out of her highest like self, if that makes sense. What an Empress would do. But I feel like somebody might be used to people serving her or him, whatever, feminine energy, through a like low key manipulation tactics. But they're trying to learn to get from that, and they're trying to learn again to be an empress, to genuinely be more like caring, more soft, more nurturing, and so like a more mother energy, and so that people will love him or her, not because they're manipulative or kind of like cutthroat or ruthless, but because they're like that Mother Teresa kind of thing. Not saying they're gonna be, but you know what I mean. Interesting. So we're going to clarify with these cards. All right. Clarify love in the present for my Arians. Okay. Whoop. Interesting. Okay. Time for upgrades. So this person, I feel, is going to be different than anybody you've ever been with before. Again, we have the Six of Cups there, right? And so they are going to have that soulmate connection with you. You all are going to feel like you've lived lives before together. Y'all are going to be able to talk about things that you've never been able to really talk about with other people. And I feel like even if you're a person that really doesn't talk about their feelings, this is going to be one person you're going to open up to and talk to about things you've never talked to anybody else about before. Follow your heart. That's obviously pretty plain. If you do meet somebody, or if you have met somebody that you feel a connection to, and you might be, teeter-tottering between, I'm hearing self-sabotage and doubt, or you're like, should I just go for it? Should I just be my Aries self and just say, fuck it, this is what I want, I'm going to go for it? Follow your heart. What does your heart say? You got the energy. You got the motherfucking Mars energy, right? So I feel like, okay, so Mars rules what? Scorpio and Aries? So I feel like this is the time to stop overthinking things and like go off gut feeling, or go off like what does your heart say? And once you figure that out, or not even figure it out, you just listen to it and you go, you act, and stop getting in here and stop shutting down and guarding because you're scared of somebody being like what you've had it before. You're scared of that toxic chemistry. I hear that toxic chemistry. Now they could have Aries and Scorpio in their chart. They could be Scorpio, since we got water here. You're Aries. But so that's really good. Let's see. On this timeline, now I probably should say it more in my other videos, but the outcome is not a guaranteed outcome. Every outcome using divination, it's what is on the what is the most probable outcome on the timeline you're on. Like tomorrow you can make a crazy decision that would change the outcome of a lot of things because you kind of jump timelines. One good person to listen to about like those timelines kind of stuff, and I kind of learned a little bit from them. I forgot all the books I've read teaching me this stuff, but Aaron Daughtry, that's what's his name. He's on YouTube, obviously, but he teaches a lot of like higher self stuff, ascension, but like timelines, a lot of great stuff. But it kind of helps you understand, like, we are in a universe where there's many parallel dimensions, Earths, universes, whatever you want to call it. but we're like radios, and depending on our frequency, I believe, is what we're tuned into. So we could choose to live our best timeline this life, or we could choose to live our worst timeline this life. It just depends on, what you choose to do in this life. But just remember, what we don't learn in this one, we got to come back. I want to talk to my past selves. I don't want to chew them out. Just saying. All right, future, future, future. What is the most probable outcome in love for my Aries people? What is the most probable outcome for my Aries people in love? Interesting. Let me pull one more. The fuck do you do? I'm just kidding. So, I have the Fool here with the Knight of Cups in the reverse, with the High Priestess in the reverse, with the Five of Cups. So I feel like there is going to be a brand new start. There's going to be a fresh new beginning in your love life. But be careful not to listen to your shadow side so much, because if you listen to your shadow side too much and try to be overly cautious about love, and even though you want to, it's like a part of you wants to just go after love with reckless abandonment. You just want to go, go, go and just feel things and just feel that intense passion and whatnot. But then another part of you is like, no, let's think about this. Last time that happened didn't turn out so good. And I think a part of, so it's actually, I feel like you kind of shutting off your heart is closing down your intuition and what your higher self is trying to tell you. And it could be, I'm hearing something you find out about this person in regards to maybe their past, and that just makes you so uneasy that you can't get over it, and you just shut down. You shut down your higher self, your intuition. You might find out that this person might have cheated before. And the thing is, even though that person might have done that before, that might not be who they are now. But you mentally can't get through it. You can't get over it. So you just cut yourself off from that person, even though your higher self, your intuition is trying to say, you've done shit in the past that, you're different from. Like, you need to listen to me and I will tell you, if there's red flags or not, whatever. And so you end up potentially, we can all change these things, right? So you end up where you let go of a situation, and you might not let go of it though. If this person's patient enough, it still might turn out good. They're going to have to be very patient with you though. But I feel like there still will be an opportunity for love, but you're going to go through a period where you're going to be guarded, and you're going to be so focused on the past and what the past people did to you, and it's almost going to be like PTSD. Like, you might have PTSD like from past relationships of you giving your all and them just kind of taking a dump on you, And so you might be focused on the things that are going wrong, or the things that could go wrong, or the things that look like, they might not have their stuff together like you thought they did. Where in reality, like, your higher self's trying to tell you, like, if you just turn around and just stop moping and stop thinking on the wrong things, like, there is love there for you. But again, I feel like this is a karmic connection or a soulmate connection. So there's things you're going to have to work through to get to the place of being where y'all can be happy together. Like, I feel, again, like I said, like, y'all are going to help heal each other and teach each other. But it's going to take a lot of patience from them, and it's going to take a lot of patience from you. Because I feel like y'all might be kind of like opposites and, freaking butt heads. So, clarify. Oh, shit. Where'd he go? Dropped one. Okay. Okay. Marriage. Told you. It could turn out really well. Let me get one or two more. Uh-huh. Okay. So, Marriage, focus on money, and focus on intentions and manifesting. I mean, really, that's the best advice you could have, right? There is a possibility for marriage here. There is a possibility, I feel like a new chapter in your life. You might have felt really, really stuck in your life. Like you have tried so hard to overcome your past and overcome these things you feel like have been holding you back, and these things have been trying to drag you down, and you're trying so hard to better yourself, but you feel like you've been kind of stuck in a loop. But I feel like if you genuinely put effort into this connection, like I said, whether you've met that person or that you're gonna meet this person, so keep your eyes out if you haven't met this person. Um, if you genuinely put in your effort into this, it could lead to marriage. But one thing you have to do, so focus on money if you're having money issues right now. I know the whole freaking COVID thing happening. A lot of people are struggling right now. One way to kind of get you through this, start focusing on manifesting money. And that might help take some of the stress off of you, so you're more freely to give communication and effort and even emotion to this person when they come in. So focus on money, focus on, make sure you're not overspending, but you still have enough money to enjoy. What the hell is the point of life if you can't enjoy it, right? Maybe pick up a side gig, a side hustle, during this time. For everybody, obviously that'd be different. But most importantly, before you go to bed, I've read so far, Neville Goddard talks about this a lot, which is pretty interesting. But right before you go to bed, when you're starting to drift to sleep, your brainwaves is in a certain state where like your subconscious is taking over and your conscious mind is fading. And so you're like in a middle plane where whatever you're thinking will directly kind of like imprint in your subconscious, and it's your subconscious that seeks out things. So it's like, you ever notice when you decide to randomly start playing tennis, you're like, I want to play fucking tennis, then all of a sudden you are at the grocery store, and then somebody mentions that they just started playing tennis somewhere, or they just got a certain racket that you've been thinking about and you've been wondering about, and now you hear this person talking about it, and you can actually ask them in person about it, and you're just starting to see all these things now about tennis where a week ago you never have had those experiences. It's, whatever you focus on grows. That's why when we're having a bad day and we focus on how much we're having a bad day, it seems like that bad day turns into one of the worst days ever. And that's why also, like, when you're feeling lucky and like good and like, oh my God, I just found $10, and like, oh, my crush just talked to me, da 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 da. You keep focusing on all the good things are happening. You keep building better and better. Like, it keeps going on. But we have a tendency to, when things are going good, we're like, okay, things are going good, but it has to fall to shit somewhere. Like, where's the shit? And instead of helping the good grow, we help the bad grow or come. So anyways, bottom line, focus on what you want. Open your heart. Don't shut somebody out because you're scared or judging them on your past. I got to listen to that to myself, because this could be a really good connection coming up. I feel like it's kind of your hands on. If you are stubborn about this, it might be delays in getting this off the ground. So if you want it to come in quicker, I guess you can say, just work on yourself. You attract who you are. So the more free this is inside, the more it enables you to attract somebody that's that free too, if that makes sense. All right, Aries. So I hope this resonated. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, any of those good things. I'm going to try doing videos again. I got a little break from school. So, all right. Love you guys. I will see you later. Bye.